The secret of building small business to an empire. Thank you for believing in us by subscribing and sharing. You sticking to us when we don't have large subscriber. It is called pure love. Now, drop everything you are doing and focus. We are about to destroy the book. Introduction. The secret of building a small business into an empire. Every empire begins as something small. Before the global recognition, before the boardrooms, before the headlines and billion-dollar valuations, there was a single idea, a late night, a risk, a decision. Behind every powerful business today was once a founder staring at uncertainty, asking a simple question: can this really become something bigger? The truth is, empires are not built by accident. They are built by intention. The myth of overnight success. We live in a world that glorifies rapid success. Social media highlights the wins, the launches, the funding rounds, the luxury lifestyles. What it rarely shows is the slow foundation building phase, the discipline, the failures, the sacrifices, the doubt. Businesses like Apple began in a garage. Amazon started as an online bookstore. Starbucks was once a single coffee shop in Seattle. None of them started as empires. They became empires because their founders understood something deeper than profit. Small beginnings do not limit big destinies. What this book is really about. This is not just a book about making money. It is about transformation. It is about shifting from survival thinking to strategic thinking, daily hustle to long-term architecture, income chasing to asset building, small operations to scalable systems, personal success to generational legacy. Building an empire is not about size alone. It is about structure, influence, sustainability, and impact. An empire, 1, can operate without the founder's constant presence. 2, has systems that scale. 3, has leadership beyond one person. 4, creates value that outlives its creator. That is a different level of entrepreneurship. The difference between a business owner and an empire builder. Most small business owners focus on paying bills, increasing monthly revenue, managing daily problems. Empire builders focus on building systems, creating brand authority, expanding strategically, developing leaders, and planning succession. One thinks in weeks, the other thinks in decades. One builds for income, the other builds for legacy. The real secret. There is no hidden formula reserved for the elite. The secret is this. Empires are built from the inside out. They begin with mindset. They are strengthened by discipline. They are protected by structure. They are multiplied by systems. They are sustained by leadership. The greatest limitation to growth is not capital. It is not location. It is not competition. It is thinking small. Why this book matters now. We are living in one of the greatest entrepreneurial eras in history. Technology has lowered barriers. Digital platforms have globalized markets. Small teams can now compete with corporations. A single laptop can power a global brand. But opportunity alone does not guarantee empire. Without structure, growth collapses. Without systems, scale creates chaos. Without vision, success becomes temporary. This book exists to guide you from idea to infrastructure, from hustle to hierarchy, from business owner to empire architect. Who this book is for? This book is for the entrepreneur starting from scratch, the small business owner stuck at a plateau, the founder ready to scale, the leader thinking about legacy. If you have ever wondered, how do I move beyond survival mode? How do I scale without losing control? How do I build something that lasts beyond me? Then you are in the right place. The journey ahead. Over the coming chapters, we will explore the mindset required to think beyond small beginnings, how to validate and structure a scalable business, marketing and sales strategies that multiply growth, leadership systems that build strong teams, financial intelligence for long-term expansion, scaling models that create replication, crisis resilience and strategic pivots, and finally, legacy building and sustainability. This is not a quick-read motivational speech. It is a blueprint. A final thought before we begin. Empires are not built by those who wait for perfect conditions. They are built by those who commit. You do not need to start big. You need to start right. And if you're willing to think differently, build strategically, and commit long-term, the small business you hold today can become something far greater than you imagined. The journey from small to empire begins now. Let's build. Part 1. The Mindset of an Empire Builder. Chapter 1. From Hustle to Vision, the Entrepreneur's Awakening. The hustle phase. Every entrepreneur begins here. Long hours, uncertain income, doing everything alone. You are the marketer, the accountant, the salesperson, the customer service department, and sometimes even the delivery driver. The hustle phase is survival mode. It teaches resilience, it builds grit, it forces creativity. But hustle alone does not build empires. Hustle keeps you busy. Vision makes you strategic. And at some point in every serious entrepreneur's journey, there is an awakening. The moment of awakening. The awakening happens quietly. It may come after burnout from overworking, a plateau in revenue, losing a major customer, or realizing that growth has created chaos instead of freedom. You begin to ask deeper questions. Why does everything depend on me? Why am I making money but not building something lasting? If I step away for 1 month, will this business survive? This is the turning point. The shift from operator to architect. From operator to architect. Most small business owners operate their businesses. Empire builders design them. An operator focuses on daily sales, solves immediate problems, thinks in weeks or months. An architect designs systems, plans infrastructure, thinks in years and decades. When Jeff Bezos launched Amazon, he wasn't trying to win one holiday season. He was building infrastructure for dominance. Warehousing, logistics, customer obsession, those were long-term plays. That is vision. Vision asks, what must exist today for this to dominate tomorrow? The danger of permanent hustle. Hustle becomes dangerous when it becomes identity. Some entrepreneurs wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. They glorify working 18-hour days, but exhaustion is not strategy. Permanent hustle creates decision fatigue, poor long-term planning, emotional burnout, stagnation disguised as activity. You can be busy and still be building nothing scalable. Empire builders understand this. Hard work builds momentum. Structured thinking builds empires. The birth of vision. Vision is not fantasy. It is a clear mental picture of what your business will become, who it will serve at scale, how it will operate without constant firefighting, what impact it will leave. Vision transforms your daily actions. Instead of asking, how do I close one sale? You begin asking, how do I build a system that closes 1,000 sales? Instead of, how do I survive this month? You ask, how do I structure this business to dominate this market? That shift changes everything. Thinking in decades, not days. Empire builders stretch their thinking horizon. When Jeff Bezos invests in companies, he thinks in decades. Electric vehicles, space travel, energy transformation. Long-term ambition shapes short-term decisions. When you think in decades, you invest differently, you hire differently, you market differently, you tolerate short-term discomfort. Small thinkers protect comfort. Empire builders invest in the future. The 3 shifts of the awakening. The entrepreneur's awakening happens through 3 mental shifts. 1. From income to assets. You stop building something that only pays you. You start building something that has value beyond you. 2. From control to systems. You stop trying to do everything yourself. You start designing processes others can execute. 3. From competition to positioning. You stop fighting competitors. You start defining a category. These shifts mark the true beginning of empire thinking. The cost of staying small. Staying small feels safe. Small risk, small responsibility, small pressure. But small thinking has hidden costs. Limited impact, limited influence, limited wealth, limited legacy. If you are capable of more and choose comfort instead, stagnation becomes regret. Empire building is not about ego. It is about maximizing potential. Your personal awakening. Somewhere in your journey, you will face a decision. Remain a hustler or become a visionary builder. Remain reactive or become strategic. Remain dependent on daily effort or build systems that multiply effort. This chapter is your invitation to pause and reflect. Are you building income or infrastructure? Are you building activity or architecture? Are you building survival or legacy? The awakening is not loud. It is intentional. And once you see beyond hustle, you can never unsee it. Chapter reflection. Before moving forward, ask yourself, if I stopped working today, how long would my business survive? Is my business structured for scale or stress? What does my company look like in 10 years? Am I building something transferable? Your answers reveal your level of vision. Closing thought. Hustle starts businesses. Vision builds empires. The entrepreneur's awakening is the moment you stop working only in your business and begin designing the machine that will work without you. And that awakening, that quiet shift in thinking, is where every empire truly begins. When you're ready, we move to Chapter 2, the empire mindset, thinking big when you start small. Chapter 2, the empire mindset, thinking big when you start small. Small beginnings are not small futures. Every empire in history began as something unimpressive, a small office, a limited budget, a handful of customers. What separated those that remained small from those that became dominant was not starting capital, it was starting mindset. The empire mindset allows you to operate from a small position while thinking from a powerful one. It means your current size does not dictate your long-term identity. Thinking beyond your present reality. Most entrepreneurs allow their environment to define their ambition. Small capital, small goals. Small audience, small effort. Small team, small vision. Empire builders reverse this. They ask, if this becomes global, how must I design it today? If this becomes a category leader, what standards must I set now? If I scale 100x, will this structure survive? When Jeff Bezos started Amazon, he didn't call it Jeff's online bookstore. He built infrastructure, logistic systems, and brand positioning for something far bigger. The name itself, Amazon, signaled scale. Names matter. Vision matters. Identity matters. Identity before expansion. Empires are first built internally through identity. If you see yourself as just a small business owner, just trying to survive, just testing things, you will unconsciously limit growth. But when you begin identifying as a builder, a category creator, a long-term strategist, your decisions elevate. The empire mindset is not arrogance, it is disciplined ambition. Standards create scale. Thinking big means setting high standards early. You may have 10 customers, 100 followers, a small workspace, but your systems, branding, and service should reflect excellence. Look at Apple. From the beginning, the focus was design, user experience, and product simplicity. That obsession with excellence shaped global dominance. Small businesses that tolerate mediocrity rarely scale. Empire builders build as if the world is already watching. The long-term game. Empire thinking stretches time. Instead of, how much can I make this month? Ask, how strong can this be in 10 years? Instead of, how do I beat competitors? Ask, how do I define the category? Consider Elon Musk. His ventures aim to transform industries: electric vehicles, space exploration, energy systems. Whether one agrees with his style or not, the scope of thinking is expansive. Big thinking influences risk tolerance, investment decisions, hiring standards, innovation pace. When your vision is large, short-term setbacks shrink in significance. Scarcity versus expansion thinking. There are two dominant entrepreneurial mentalities. Scarcity thinking, protect what little I have, avoid risk at all costs, stay in a safe lane, fear competition. Expansion thinking, build assets, take calculated risks, explore new markets, create opportunities. Empire builders are not reckless, they are strategic risk takers. They understand that comfort rarely creates scale. Designing for scale from day one. Even if your business is small, ask, can this model replicate? Can this operate without me? Can this expand geographically? Can this leverage technology? A small restaurant thinking like an empire may design documented recipes, training manuals, brand consistency guidelines. That thinking opens the door to franchising. A small digital brand thinking like an empire builds email lists, scalable funnels, automated delivery systems. Thinking small creates dependency. Thinking big creates leverage. The courage to outgrow your environment. Sometimes thinking big means leaving environments that encourage smallness. Friends may say, don't dream too big. Be realistic. Just stay comfortable. But realism without ambition becomes limitation. Empire builders surround themselves with visionary thinkers, growth-oriented peers, mentors who challenge them. Environment influences expectation. The internal expansion. Empire thinking is less about money and more about mental expansion. You must expand your belief capacity, your risk tolerance, your leadership ability, your strategic thinking, because as your business grows, so must you. Many businesses collapse not because the idea failed, but because the founder stopped evolving. Reflection questions. If my business scaled 50x tomorrow, would it break? Do my standards reflect small thinking or long-term dominance? Am I building something temporary or transformational? What identity am I operating from daily? Closing thought. You do not need to start big, but you must think big. Empires are not built when revenue increases. They are built the moment the founder refuses to think small. Your current size is temporary. Your mindset determines your destination. Chapter 3. Overcoming fear, doubt, and the comfort zone trap. The invisible barriers to expansion. Most businesses do not fail because of competition. They fail because of hesitation. Fear is rarely loud. It doesn't always announce itself as panic. Sometimes it disguises itself as, I need more time. The market isn't ready. Maybe next year. I'll launch when everything is perfect. But perfection is often procrastination wearing a suit. Empire builders understand something crucial. Growth requires discomfort. Fear is not the enemy. Inaction is. Fear is natural. Every major entrepreneurial leap triggers it. Raising prices, hiring the first employee, expanding into a new market, taking a loan, launching publicly. Even leaders like Elon Musk have spoken about operating in uncertainty. Bold vision does not eliminate fear, it overrides it. The difference between small thinking and empire thinking is not the absence of fear, it is forward movement despite it. The comfort zone trap. Comfort is dangerous because it feels safe. You reach stable income, you understand your routine, you know your customers. Growth slows, but stress reduces. Many entrepreneurs settle here, but stagnation is slow decline. Markets evolve, competitors improve, technology advances. Staying comfortable while the world moves forward is not stability, it is silent regression. Empire builders choose calculated discomfort. The voice of doubt. Doubt is internal. It whispers, "Who do you think you are? What if you fail publicly? What if you lose everything? What if people laugh?" Doubt is especially strong when you come from limited resources. You lack role models. You're building something bigger than your environment has seen. But history shows that nearly every breakthrough entrepreneur faced doubt, internally and externally. When Jeff Bezos left a stable Wall Street career to start Amazon, many questioned the decision. The internet was still new. Online book sales sounded uncertain. Vision always looks unreasonable before it becomes obvious. Reframing failure. Fear is often rooted in one thing, failure. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. Empire builders view failure as feedback, data, refinement, redirection. Small thinkers avoid risk to avoid failure. Empire thinkers risk strategically to accelerate learning. A failed product can teach market preferences, pricing errors, branding weaknesses. Avoiding action teaches nothing. The 3 levels of courage. Overcoming fear requires intentional courage. Courage operates at 3 levels. 1. Decision courage, choosing to move forward even when outcomes are uncertain. 2. Identity courage, seeing yourself as capable of bigger arenas. 3. Public courage, acting boldly even when others doubt or misunderstand you. Every expansion requires at least one of these. Growth requires psychological expansion. As your business grows, pressure increases. Revenue grows, but so do responsibilities. Visibility increases, but so does scrutiny. You must strengthen emotional resilience, decision-making ability, stress management, self-discipline, because an empire will amplify whatever weaknesses you ignore. Internal growth must match external growth. Breaking the comfort cycle. To escape the comfort trap, practice deliberate expansion. Raise your standards, enter new rooms, seek uncomfortable feedback, set goals that stretch capacity, invest in learning beyond your current level. Growth should feel slightly intimidating. If everything feels safe, you are likely not expanding. The risk of playing small. Playing small may protect your ego, but it limits impact, influence, income, legacy. There is a deeper fear many entrepreneurs avoid, the fear of discovering how powerful they could actually become. Empire building demands confronting that potential. Reflection questions. What opportunity am I delaying because of fear? Where have I chosen comfort over growth? What is the worst realistic outcome if I take this next step? What is the cost of not taking it? Often, the cost of inaction is far greater than the risk of failure. Closing thought. Fear never disappears. Doubt occasionally returns. Comfort will always tempt you, but empire builders act anyway. They move before they feel ready. They decide before they feel certain. They expand before they feel secure. Because they understand this truth. Your future empire is on the other side of the comfort zone, and the door only opens from the inside. Part 2. Foundations of a Strong Business. Chapter 4. The Idea Worth Building. Validating your business concept. Every empire begins with an idea, but not every idea deserves an empire. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is falling in love with their idea before confirming whether the market loves it too. Passion is important, vision is powerful, but without validation, both can become expensive illusions. This chapter is about building on solid ground. The difference between a good idea and a viable business. A good idea sounds exciting. A viable business solves a real problem that people are willing to pay to fix. The marketplace does not reward creativity alone, it rewards relevance. Before building, ask, does this solve a painful or urgent problem? Is the target audience clearly defined? Are customers already spending money on similar solutions? Can this idea generate repeat revenue? If the answer to these questions is unclear, the foundation is unstable. Problem first, product second. Empire builders start with problems, not products. Instead of asking, what can I sell? They ask, what problem needs solving? When Airbnb started, it wasn't about air mattresses. It was about affordable accommodation during conferences when hotels were fully booked. The product evolved. The core problem remained the anchor. Strong businesses are built on inconvenience removal, cost reduction, time saving, status enhancement, risk elimination. If your idea does not clearly connect to one of these, it may struggle. Market validation, testing before investing. Validation protects you from building what nobody wants. Validation does not require massive funding, it requires disciplined testing. You can validate through pre-orders before full production, pilot launches in small markets, surveys and interviews, landing pages measuring interest, limited releases. Validation answers one essential question: will people pay for this? Interest is not enough. Likes are not enough. Compliments are not enough. Payment is proof. Demand versus assumption. Many businesses fail because they build based on assumptions, like people will love this, there's nothing like it, everyone needs this. The market does not reward assumptions. Research your market. Who is your target customer? How much do they currently spend on alternatives? What are competitors doing well? Where are competitors failing? Gaps in the market are opportunities, but gaps must be real, not imagined. Timing matters. Even strong ideas fail if launched at the wrong time. Too early and the market may not be ready. Too late and competition may dominate. When Netflix shifted from DVD rentals to streaming, internet speeds were finally improving. The timing aligned with technological readiness. Ask yourself, is the market trend rising or declining? Is technology supporting or limiting this idea? Are consumer behaviors shifting in your favor? The right idea at the wrong time struggles. The right idea at the right time scales. Scalability. Can this grow beyond you? An empire requires scalability. Not all ideas scale. Ask, can this business operate without my constant presence? Can this model expand to new locations? Can technology increase efficiency? Can processes be standardized? A freelancer trading time for money may build income, but scaling requires leverage beyond personal effort. Scalability transforms a small operation into a replicable system. Profitability before popularity. Many entrepreneurs chase attention before profit. Visibility without revenue creates pressure. Before expanding, confirm clear pricing structure, sustainable margins, predictable cost structure, realistic customer acquisition costs. Revenue is important. Profitability is essential. An empire built on thin or unstable margins collapses under growth pressure. The power of clarity. A strong idea must be explainable in one clear sentence. If you cannot describe who you serve, what you solve, why you are different, then the idea lacks clarity. Clarity strengthens marketing, sales, partnerships, and investor conversations. Confusion repels customers. When to pivot. Sometimes validation reveals weaknesses. This does not mean quit. It may mean refine. A pivot may involve adjusting the target market, changing pricing, modifying features, simplifying the offer. The goal is not emotional attachment to the first version. The goal is building something the market demands. The cost of skipping validation. Skipping validation often leads to overproduction, wasted capital, burnout, discouragement, debt. Many founders exhaust themselves building something that was never tested properly. Validation reduces risk. Empire builders do not gamble blindly, they test strategically. Reflection questions. What specific problem does my idea solve? Who exactly is willing to pay for this solution? Have I tested this idea with real paying customers? Is this scalable beyond my personal effort? Are the margins strong enough to support expansion? Your answers determine whether your idea is a hobby or a foundation for an empire. Closing thought. Excitement starts businesses. Validation builds foundations. Before you scale, brand, hire, or expand, ensure the idea itself is strong enough to carry the weight of growth. Because an empire built on weak foundations does not collapse slowly, it collapses suddenly. Chapter 5. Business Models That Scale. Choosing the right framework. A powerful idea is only the beginning. The structure behind that idea determines whether it remains small or multiplies. Many entrepreneurs focus on products. Empire builders focus on models, because the business model, not the product alone, determines how money flows, how growth happens, how systems replicate, how value compounds. You can have a strong product inside a weak model, and that weak model will cap your growth. What is a business model? A business model answers one fundamental question. How does this business create, deliver, and capture value at scale? It defines who pays, what they pay for, how often they pay, how you deliver, what it costs to serve them. Without clarity in this structure, scaling becomes chaotic. Income versus leverage. There are two broad categories of business models: linear models, income-based. Revenue increases only when effort increases. Examples: freelancing, consulting without team leverage, trading time for money. Leverage models, scalable. Revenue can increase without equal increases in effort. Examples: digital products, subscription services, licensing, platforms, franchising. Empire builders move toward leverage, not because work disappears, but because systems replace personal limitation. The power of recurring revenue. One of the most scalable frameworks is recurring revenue. Instead of earning once per customer, you earn repeatedly. Subscription models provide predictable cash flow, higher lifetime customer value, easier forecasting, stronger customer relationships. Businesses like Netflix transformed industries by shifting from one-time transactions to monthly subscriptions. Recurring revenue stabilizes growth. Predictability fuels expansion. Platform and ecosystem models. Some of the largest empires are built on platform models. Platforms connect two or more groups and take a percentage of the interaction. For example, Amazon is not just a retailer, it is a marketplace connecting sellers and buyers. Platform advantages, network effects, rapid scaling, asset-light growth, market dominance potential. While not every small business can become a platform immediately, understanding this structure expands your thinking. Product-based versus service-based models. Both can scale, but differently. Service-based models. Easier to start, lower upfront cost, high margins, harder to scale without team expansion. Product-based models. Higher initial investment, inventory or production costs, greater scalability, brand expansion potential. Empire builders often start with services, cash flow, and transition into scalable products, leverage. Licensing and franchising. If your system is strong and replicable, expansion becomes possible through others. Licensing allows others to use your intellectual property for a fee. Franchising allows others to replicate your entire business system. This model requires documented processes, brand consistency, training systems, operational standards. When done correctly, it multiplies reach without multiplying direct management. Digital leverage. Technology has lowered scaling barriers. Digital leverage includes online courses, ebooks, software tools, automation systems, e-commerce. Companies like Shopify empower entrepreneurs to build scalable stores without owning physical retail space. Digital systems remove geographical limits. Geography once limited growth. Technology removes that ceiling. Margins matter more than revenue. A scalable business model must protect margins. High revenue with low margins creates stress. Healthy margins allow marketing reinvestment, team expansion, innovation, crisis resilience. Before scaling, confirm cost structure stability, customer acquisition costs, profit per unit, break-even points. Growth amplifies weaknesses. If margins are weak at small scale, expansion increases the problem. Simplicity before complexity. Many entrepreneurs complicate their models too early. They add too many offers, too many pricing tiers, too many target markets. Complexity reduces clarity. Clarity drives scale. A focused, simple model grows faster than a scattered one. Scale one thing well before expanding into multiple directions. Designing with the end in mind. Ask yourself, do I want this business to run without me? Do I want to sell this business one day? Do I want it to operate globally? Do I want passive components? Your answers shape the model you choose. If you want eventual exit potential, build a model that is transferable. If you want long-term control, build strong internal systems. If you want lifestyle flexibility, build digital leverage. Empire building is intentional. Reflection questions. Is my current model linear or leveraged? Does revenue depend entirely on my personal effort? Can this model generate recurring income? Are my margins strong enough to support scale? Can this framework expand geographically or digitally? Your model determines your ceiling. Closing thought. Ideas create excitement. Models create multiplication. A small business becomes an empire not only because of what it sells, but because of how it is structured to sell at scale. Choose your framework wisely, because once growth begins, structure determines stability. Chapter 6. Legal, Financial, and Structural Foundations. A business without solid foundations is like a skyscraper built on sand. Growth can look impressive at first, but one misstep, legal trouble, financial mismanagement, or structural chaos can bring it all down. Empires are built on stability before scale. This chapter focuses on the critical frameworks that protect, organize, and prepare your business for growth. Legal foundations. Protect your empire. Legal structures are more than paperwork. They define your business identity, liability, and growth potential. Key steps. Choose the right legal structure. Sole proprietorship, simple but personal assets are at risk. Partnership, shared responsibility, potential disputes. Limited liability company, or LLC, or private limited, protects personal assets and signals professionalism. Corporation, necessary for investors and complex operations. Your legal choice impacts taxes, liability, and your ability to scale. Empire builders treat this decision strategically, not casually. Protect intellectual property, IP. Your brand, designs, systems, and content are assets. Register trademarks for your brand. Protect patents for inventions or processes. Use copyrights for creative content. IP ensures that your competitive advantage remains yours, even as others attempt to replicate your success. Contracts and agreements. Standardize contracts with employees, partners, suppliers, and clients. Clearly outline roles and responsibilities, payment terms, confidentiality clauses, exit strategies. Legal clarity prevents disputes that can derail growth. Financial foundations. Stability before expansion. Strong finances allow you to invest, scale, and survive crises. Key areas. Separate personal and business finances. Mixing personal and business funds leads to confusion, mismanagement, and tax complications. Open dedicated business accounts and track everything. Accounting systems. Maintain accurate books from day one. Track revenue, expenses, profit margins, cash flow, taxes. Empire builders never rely on memory or rough estimates. Cash flow management. Cash is the oxygen of your business. Monitor daily and monthly inflows and outflows. Maintain reserves for emergencies. Understand timing gaps between revenue and expenses. A profitable business can still fail if cash is mismanaged. Tax planning and compliance. Understand local regulations and obligations. Avoid fines, legal issues, or audits that could cripple your operations. Plan proactively to optimize tax strategy. Profit-first mindset. Track profitability before expansion. Many small businesses grow revenue but fail financially because costs grow faster than income. Empire builders prioritize profit over vanity metrics. Structural foundations. Systems that scale. Your systems define how your business operates without constant oversight. Operations and SOPs. Document every process. Customer onboarding, product delivery, marketing campaigns, hiring and training. This ensures quality consistency and allows delegation. Organizational hierarchy. Define roles and responsibilities clearly. Even small teams benefit from structure. Who reports to whom, decision-making authority, accountability measures. A clear hierarchy prevents confusion as you scale. Technology and automation. Automate repetitive tasks. Invoicing and payments, email marketing, customer support, chatbots or ticketing, inventory tracking. Automation reduces errors and frees time for strategic work. Performance metrics. Identify KPIs, key performance indicators, for every department. Sales, conversion rates, revenue per customer, marketing, cost per acquisition and engagement, operations, fulfillment speed, error rate, finance, profit margins, cash reserves. Metrics allow early detection of problems before they become crises. Integrating legal, financial, and structural foundations. Foundations are interdependent. A weak link in one area can destabilize the rest. Legal clarity protects finances and structures. Financial discipline enables proper systems and legal compliance. Operational structure allows efficient legal and financial management. Empire builders treat these areas as a single framework rather than separate silos. Reflection questions. Is my business legally structured to protect my personal assets? Do I have clear accounting, cash flow tracking, and profit monitoring in place? Are all key business processes documented and systematized? Can my business operate for 30 days without my direct intervention? Are there gaps in compliance, contracts, or intellectual property protection? If the answer to any of these is no, you risk growth instability. Closing thought. A strong idea alone does not make an empire. Without legal protection, financial discipline, and structural organization, even profitable businesses can collapse under pressure. Foundations are invisible but indispensable. They may feel tedious now, but they are the bedrock on which all future scale, systems, and legacy will rest. Before you scale, hire, or expand, ensure your foundation is rock solid. Chapter 7. Building your brand from zero to iconic. A business sells products. An empire builds a brand. Products can be copied. Prices can be undercut. Features can be improved by competitors. But a powerful brand, when built correctly, becomes untouchable. This chapter is about transforming your business from a seller of goods or services into a symbol of trust, identity, and influence. What a brand really is. A brand is not just a logo. It is not just colors. It is not just a slogan. A brand is the perception people have about you, the emotional response your name triggers, the reputation attached to your promise, the story customers tell about you when you are not in the room. When people hear Apple, they think innovation, simplicity, premium design. When they hear Nike, they think performance, inspiration, movement. That is branding power. The foundation of a strong brand. Before visual identity comes strategic clarity. Define your core promise. What transformation do you provide? Your target audience. Who exactly are you for? The clearer this is, the stronger your brand becomes. Your positioning. What makes you different from competitors? Your values. What principles guide your decisions? A brand without clarity feels generic. Generic brands compete on price. Iconic brands compete on identity. Clarity before creativity. Many entrepreneurs jump into logo design before defining their positioning. That is backwards. First, determine your tone: bold, professional, playful, authoritative. Your messaging style, your unique selling proposition, your long-term vision. Only then should visual elements follow. Design amplifies clarity. It does not replace it. Consistency creates recognition. Brand power is built through repetition. Consistent messaging, visual identity, customer experience, tone of communication, service standards. Inconsistency creates confusion. Confusion weakens trust. Trust is the currency of empires. Emotional connection over transactions. People do not remain loyal because of price. They remain loyal because of connection. Strong brands make customers feel understood, empowered, valued, inspired, safe. When customers emotionally connect to your brand, they stop comparing you. They choose you. That's how businesses move from competitive markets to dominant positions. Authority and perception. Perception shapes opportunity. A strong brand attracts better customers, attracts stronger partners, commands higher pricing, opens media opportunities, builds investor confidence. Brand perception is built through professional presentation, thought leadership content, customer testimonials, case studies, strategic storytelling. Your story matters. Why did you start? What problem are you solving? What do you stand for? Stories humanize brands. From invisible to recognized. In the beginning, your brand may feel invisible. Recognition requires strategic exposure. Build visibility through content marketing, public speaking, strategic partnerships, social media consistency, customer referrals. Brands grow through visibility and value combined. Exposure without value is noise. Value without exposure is hidden potential. Premium positioning. If you want to build an empire, you must think beyond competing on price. Premium positioning requires superior customer experience, clear differentiation, strong presentation, confident pricing. When positioned properly, customers expect to pay more and are comfortable doing so. Cheap attracts volume. Strong branding attracts loyalty. Protecting your brand. As your brand grows, protect it. Register trademarks, secure domain names, monitor online reputation, maintain quality control, enforce brand guidelines. Reputation takes years to build and moments to damage. Empire builders protect their names carefully. Scaling the brand. As your business expands, maintain brand standards across locations. Train team members on brand voice. Create brand manuals. Monitor customer feedback. Consistency at scale requires documentation. An iconic brand is not built by accident. It is built through disciplined alignment. Reflection questions. What do customers currently associate with my brand? Is my positioning clear and differentiated? Does my brand evoke emotion or only function? Am I competing on price or perception? If my brand disappeared tomorrow, would people notice? Your answers reveal your branding strength. Closing thought. A small business focuses on products. An empire focuses on identity. Your brand is the bridge between what you sell and what you stand for. When built correctly, it becomes your greatest competitive advantage, one that compounds over time. Because in the end, empires are not remembered for what they sold. They are remembered for what they represented. Part 3. Growth Strategies That Work. Chapter 8. Marketing Like a Giant, Even on a Small Budget. Marketing is not about how much money you spend. It is about how clearly you communicate value. Many small businesses believe they cannot compete because they lack large advertising budgets, but history proves otherwise. Some of the world's most recognized brands began with creativity, clarity, and strategic positioning, not massive funding. Marketing is leverage, and leverage favors strategy over size. The real purpose of marketing. Marketing is not just promotion. It is the process of attracting attention, building trust, creating desire, driving action. Without marketing, even the best product remains invisible. Small businesses often relied on referrals and word of mouth. While valuable, this is unpredictable. Empire builders build predictable marketing systems. Clarity beats budget. Before spending on ads, answer this. Who exactly are you targeting? What problem are you solving? Why should customers choose you? What makes you different? A confused message wastes money. A clear message multiplies impact. If your positioning is strong, even simple marketing channels can produce strong results. The power of content marketing. Content builds authority. By consistently sharing valuable insights, education, or inspiration, you position yourself as an expert. This includes blog articles, social media posts, short-form videos, email newsletters, webinars. Content does not require a large budget, it requires consistency. When done correctly, content builds trust before the sale, warms leads naturally, reduces resistance, increases perceived expertise. Authority reduces the need for aggressive selling. Social media as a growth engine. Social media levels the playing field. A small business with smart strategy can outperform a large company with poor engagement. Focus on 1 or 2 platforms where your audience is active, consistent posting schedule, storytelling over constant promotion, community engagement. Do not chase every platform. Master one before expanding. Email marketing, the underrated asset. Social media platforms can change algorithms. You do not own those platforms, but you own your email list. Email allows direct communication, nurturing relationships, announcing offers, building loyalty. An engaged email list becomes a powerful asset during product launches or expansions. Empire giants rely heavily on email, even in the age of social media. Strategic partnerships. Small budgets grow faster through partnerships. Collaborate with complementary brands, influencers, industry experts, local businesses. Joint promotions allow shared audiences. Instead of spending heavily to find new customers, borrow trust from aligned brands. Partnerships multiply reach without multiplying cost. Paid advertising with discipline. Paid advertising can accelerate growth, but only after your offer is validated, your messaging is clear, and your conversion system works. If your funnel is weak, ads amplify waste. Start small. Test campaigns. Measure results. Track cost per lead, conversion rates, customer acquisition cost, lifetime value. Empire builders track metrics, not emotions. Storytelling as a competitive advantage. Stories sell more than features. Why did you start? What challenges did you overcome? How has your product transformed customers? People connect with stories, not statistics. Even global brands rely on storytelling to maintain emotional loyalty. Your origin story is a marketing asset. Community over customers. Small businesses have an advantage: closeness. Build community, not just transactions. Encourage feedback, testimonials, user-generated content, engagement discussions. Community increases retention. Retention reduces marketing costs. Empire builders understand that keeping a customer is cheaper than constantly acquiring new ones. Consistency over intensity. Many businesses market aggressively for a short period, then disappear. Visibility requires rhythm. Marketing should be consistent, measured, and strategic. Small daily actions outperform rare large campaigns. Marketing momentum compounds. Metrics that matter. Track what drives growth: conversion rates, customer acquisition cost, engagement levels, repeat purchase rate, referral rate. Without measurement, marketing becomes guesswork. With measurement, marketing becomes a scalable engine. Competing with giants. You may not outspend large competitors, but you can move faster, personalize better, connect deeper, innovate quicker. Large companies struggle with agility. Small businesses thrive on it. Speed is your advantage. Authenticity is your advantage. Focus is your advantage. Reflection questions. Is my message clear and differentiated? Am I building owned assets like an email list? Am I measuring marketing performance consistently? Am I relying too heavily on one channel? Am I marketing consistently or occasionally? Your marketing system determines your growth speed. Closing thought. Marketing is not an expense, it is an investment in visibility, trust, and expansion. You do not need a giant budget to market like a giant. You need clarity, consistency, creativity, and courage. Because in the end, growth belongs not to the biggest spender, but to the smartest communicator. Chapter 9. Sales Mastery. Converting leads into loyal customers. Marketing attracts attention. Sales converts attention into revenue. Without sales mastery, marketing becomes noise. Without sales systems, growth becomes inconsistent. Empires are not built on traffic alone. They are built on conversion, retention, and lifetime value. This chapter is about turning interest into income and customers into advocates. Redefining sales. Many entrepreneurs misunderstand sales. They see it as persuasion, pressure, convincing, pushing. But true sales is service. Sales is the process of helping someone move from a problem to a solution when your solution genuinely fits. When you believe in the value of what you offer, selling becomes clarity, not manipulation. The sales foundation, understanding the customer. You cannot sell effectively if you do not deeply understand your buyer. Know their pain points, their goals, their fears, their objections, their decision-making triggers. Customers do not buy products. They buy relief, results, status, security, transformation. When you understand motivation, you communicate more precisely. The sales process, from lead to loyalty. Empire builders use structured sales processes. A simple framework: attract, marketing generates interest. Engage, build trust through conversation or content. Diagnose, identify the customer's real need. Present, position your solution clearly. Handle objections, address concerns confidently. Close, invite action. Follow up, strengthen the relationship. Without structure, sales depend on mood. With structure, sales become predictable. Handling objections without fear. Objections are not rejection. They are requests for clarity. Common objections include, "It's too expensive. I need to think about it. I'm not sure. Now isn't the right time." Behind every objection is uncertainty. Instead of defending, ask, "What specifically concerns you? Compared to what? What would make this an easy decision?" Confidence increases trust. Pressure destroys it. Pricing with confidence. Underpricing is one of the biggest small business mistakes. Low prices attract low-commitment customers, reduce margins, create stress, signal low value. High-value positioning requires confident pricing. If your solution truly solves a meaningful problem, price it accordingly. Sales mastery includes believing in your worth. Building trust before the close. Trust reduces resistance. Ways to build trust: testimonials, case studies, transparent communication, guarantees, educational content. People buy when they feel safe. The sale begins long before the closing moment. Follow-up, the hidden multiplier. Many sales are lost not because of rejection, but because of neglect. Follow-up increases conversion significantly. Send reminders, offer additional information, share proof, address lingering doubts. Persistence without pressure increases results. Most competitors quit after one attempt. Empire builders follow through. Turning customers into loyal advocates. The real growth engine is retention. Acquiring new customers is expensive. Retaining existing ones is profitable. To build loyalty, deliver beyond expectations, maintain consistent communication, offer exclusive benefits, request feedback, reward repeat purchases. Loyal customers spend more, refer others, defend your brand. An empire grows faster through advocacy than advertising. Sales systems and automation. As you scale, sales must become systemized. This may include CRM systems, automated follow-ups, sales funnels, script frameworks, team training. If sales depend solely on your personal charisma, growth will stall. Systemized sales enable expansion. Metrics that drive sales growth. Track conversion rate, average order value, customer lifetime value, closing ratio, sales cycle length. Measurement transforms sales from emotion to strategy. The psychology of buying. Customers decide emotionally and justify logically. Appeal to identity, aspiration, relief, status, belonging. Logic supports the decision. Emotion triggers it. Understanding this increases effectiveness without manipulation. Reflection questions. Do I have a clear sales process? Do I avoid selling because of discomfort? Are my prices aligned with my value? Do I consistently follow up? Am I focused on one-time sales or lifetime relationships? Your answers reveal your sales maturity. Closing thought. Marketing fills the pipeline. Sales turns opportunity into expansion. But mastery is not about closing one deal. It is about building systems that convert consistently and relationships that last long after the first transaction. Because in empire building, revenue starts with the sale, but legacy begins with loyalty. Chapter 10. The Power of Digital. Leveraging technology for exponential growth. The modern empire is not built only with bricks and buildings. It is built with bandwidth. Technology has removed traditional barriers: geography, capital, distribution, visibility. A small business today can reach millions tomorrow, not because it is large, but because it is digital. This chapter is about using technology not as a tool, but as a multiplier. The digital advantage. In the past, expansion required physical branches, large staff, massive advertising budgets, complex infrastructure. Today, a laptop and an internet connection can compete globally. Digital tools allow you to automate operations, reach global markets, scale marketing, collect data, improve decision-making. Technology compresses time and expands reach. Empire builders leverage this leverage. Building your digital foundation. Before scaling digitally, establish core assets. 1. A professional online presence. Your website is your digital headquarters. It should clearly communicate your value, capture leads, enable purchases, reflect your brand authority. If social media disappears tomorrow, your website remains your home base. 2. Social media as distribution channels. Social platforms are not the business, they are amplifiers. Use them to build audience trust, share value-driven content, drive traffic to your core offers, create community. Consistency builds visibility. Visibility builds opportunity. 3. Email marketing, the hidden asset. Unlike social media followers, email lists are owned assets. An engaged email list allows you to launch new products, nurture prospects, increase repeat purchases, and maintain direct communication. Empires are built on databases, not just followers. Automation, scaling without burnout. Manual processes limit growth. Automation expands capacity. You can automate lead capture, follow-up sequences, appointment scheduling, payment processing, customer onboarding. Automation reduces errors, increases efficiency, and frees you to focus on strategy. If you must personally handle every task, you cannot scale. Digital sales funnels. A funnel is a structured journey from awareness to purchase. A basic digital funnel may include valuable content, lead magnet, email sequence, core offer, upsell, retention system. Funnels allow your business to generate sales 24/7, even while you sleep. That is exponential leverage. Data, the modern gold mine. Digital businesses generate data constantly, track website traffic, conversion rates, customer behavior, engagement metrics, revenue per channel. Data answers critical questions. What is working? What is wasting money? Where should we scale? Without data, decisions are guesses. With data, decisions are strategic. E-commerce and global reach. Technology allows you to sell physical products, digital products, services, subscriptions across borders. A local business can become international through online marketplaces, digital payment systems, remote service delivery. Global thinking is now accessible to small enterprises. Leveraging content for authority. Content builds trust at scale. Create educational posts, short-form videos, long-form insights, tutorials, case studies. Content positions you as an expert before a customer ever speaks to you. Authority reduces sales resistance. Artificial intelligence and smart tools. Modern tools powered by artificial intelligence can assist content creation, analyze customer data, improve customer support, predict trends, personalize marketing. The entrepreneur who adopts technology early gains competitive advantage. The one who resists becomes outdated. Cybersecurity and digital responsibility. With digital growth comes digital risk. Protect customer data, payment systems, internal operations. Trust can take years to build and minutes to lose. Secure systems are part of sustainable scaling. Digital teams and remote work. Technology enables distributed teams. You can hire talent globally without relocation costs. Tools for collaboration, project management, and communication allow seamless coordination across borders. This expands your access to skills and reduces operational overhead. Reflection questions. Is my business digitally visible? What processes can I automate? Am I collecting and analyzing customer data? Do I own my audience or depend entirely on social platforms? What technology can multiply my current efforts? Your digital maturity will determine your scalability. The exponential effect. Traditional growth is linear. Digital growth can be exponential. One piece of content can reach thousands. One automated funnel can generate continuous revenue. One system can serve millions. Technology does not replace strategy, it amplifies it. Closing thought. The businesses that dominate tomorrow are building digitally today. You do not need to be a technology expert, you need to be a technology adopter. Use digital tools wisely, systemize intelligently, automate strategically. Because in the modern world, the difference between a small business and an empire is often not size, it's leverage. Chapter 11. Strategic Partnerships and Networking for Empire Building. No empire is built alone. Behind every dominant business is a network of alliances, mentors, collaborators, investors, distributors, advisors, and strategic partners. The myth of the self-made entrepreneur is inspiring, but incomplete. Empire builders understand one powerful truth. Your growth is directly connected to the strength of your relationships. This chapter is about building influence, leverage, and opportunity through strategic partnerships and intentional networking. Why partnerships accelerate growth? There are two ways to grow: build everything yourself, or leverage what others have already built. The second path is faster. Strategic partnerships allow you to access new markets, share resources, reduce costs, increase credibility, expand distribution, accelerate innovation. Instead of starting from zero, you plug into existing ecosystems. That is leverage. The types of strategic partnerships. Not all partnerships are the same. Empire builders understand different models. 1. Distribution partnerships. Someone with an existing audience sells or distributes your product. Example, retail stores carrying your product, influencers promoting your service, online platforms listing your offers. You gain reach without building the audience from scratch. 2. Joint ventures. Two businesses collaborate on a shared offer or campaign. Co-hosted events, co-branded products, shared marketing campaigns. You combine strengths and split results. 3. Supplier and operational partnerships. Reliable suppliers and service providers strengthen your foundation. Manufacturers, logistics companies, technology providers. A weak partner can damage your reputation. A strong one can elevate it. Strategic alliances. Long-term relationships that create mutual growth over time. These alliances are built on trust, alignment, and shared vision. They are not transactional, they are transformational. Networking with intention. Networking is not collecting business cards. It is building meaningful connections. Effective networking requires clarity about what you offer, curiosity about others, long-term thinking. Ask, how can I add value? What problems can I help solve? Where is alignment possible? People remember those who contribute, not those who only request. The value-first principle. The fastest way to build strong relationships is to lead with value. Offer introductions, insights, support, opportunities, visibility. When you consistently add value, opportunities flow back naturally. Desperation repels. Contribution attracts. Choosing the right partners. Not every opportunity is a good opportunity. Before entering a partnership, evaluate values alignment, reputation, track record, financial stability, strategic compatibility. Short-term gain with the wrong partner can create long-term damage. Protect your brand fiercely. Negotiation and win-win structures. Healthy partnerships are mutually beneficial. Avoid agreements where one side dominates, expectations are unclear, roles are undefined, profit sharing is ambiguous. Clarity prevents conflict. Define responsibilities, revenue splits, timelines, exit terms. Professionalism strengthens partnerships. Building influence through community. Communities create ecosystems. You can build or participate in industry groups, entrepreneurial circles, mastermind networks, professional associations. Influence grows through visibility and contribution within communities. Your network becomes your net worth. Leveraging digital networking. Technology has expanded networking beyond physical events. You can connect globally through professional platforms, virtual conferences, online forums, digital communities. Distance is no longer a limitation. Consistency and engagement builds authority. Long-term relationship capital. Empire builders think beyond transactions. They nurture relationships by staying in touch, sharing updates, celebrating wins, offering help, maintaining integrity. Relationships compound over time. A connection you make today may open a door years later. Avoiding common partnership mistakes. Rushing into agreements without due diligence, ignoring red flags, failing to document agreements, overpromising and underdelivering, neglecting communication. Professionalism protects both sides. Trust is built slowly and broken quickly. Reflection questions. Who currently accelerates my business growth? What partnerships could unlock new markets? Am I adding value to my network? Are my agreements clear and documented? Am I building long-term relationship capital? Your answers reveal the strength of your ecosystem. The multiplication effect. Alone, you move at a certain speed. With the right partners, you multiply that speed. A single strategic alliance can double your distribution, increase revenue dramatically, expand your brand authority, open global opportunities. Empires are ecosystems, not solo ventures. Closing thought. Success in business is rarely isolated. It is interconnected. When you build strong partnerships, you expand beyond your own limits. You access knowledge you do not possess. You reach markets you cannot reach alone. You grow faster than linear effort allows. Because in empire building, collaboration is not weakness. It is strategy. Part 4. People, Leadership, and Culture. Chapter 12. Hiring Right. Building a Team of Champions. Every empire eventually reaches a limit. That limit is the founder. You can only work so many hours. You can only manage so many tasks. You can only grow as fast as your capacity allows. The moment you decide to scale, you must transition from doing everything to building a team. Empires are not built by individuals. They are built by teams of champions. The shift from operator to builder. In the early stages, you are the marketer, the salesperson, the accountant, the customer support, the strategist. But growth demands a mindset shift. You must move from, how can I do this, to, who can do this better than me? The strength of your business will eventually reflect the quality of your hires. Hire for character before skill. Skills can be trained. Character is difficult to change. Look for integrity, work ethic, accountability, emotional intelligence, adaptability. A highly skilled employee with poor character damages culture. A committed, coachable team member grows with your vision. Attitude multiplies performance. Define roles clearly. Many hiring mistakes happen because expectations are unclear. Before hiring, answer, what specific outcome is this role responsible for? What metrics define success? What skills are required? What behaviors are essential? Vague roles produce vague results. Clarity attracts the right candidates. Hire for vision alignment. Skills build tasks. Vision builds commitment. Share your mission during recruitment. Ask, why do you want to be part of this company? What motivates you beyond salary? Where do you see yourself growing? Employees aligned with your mission will give discretionary effort. Those who are only chasing a paycheck will give minimum effort. The cost of a bad hire. A poor hire costs more than salary. It costs time, morale, customer satisfaction, productivity, reputation. Hiring slowly and carefully is not weakness. It is protection. Building A players. A players take initiative, solve problems, own their responsibilities, improve systems, raise standards. To attract A players, offer growth opportunities, provide meaningful work, build a performance-driven culture, reward excellence. Talented people want environments where excellence is normal. Onboarding, the first 90 days. Hiring is only the beginning. Onboarding determines long-term performance. Effective onboarding includes clear expectations, structured training, defined milestones, cultural immersion, regular feedback. The first 90 days shape habits and standards. Invest time early to avoid problems later. Delegation as a growth tool. Many entrepreneurs struggle to delegate because they fear loss of control, but holding everything limits growth. Delegation requires clear instructions, defined outcomes, accountability systems, trust. You do not delegate tasks, you delegate responsibility. and responsibility builds leadership within your team. Performance management. Champions thrive under clear standards. Implement key performance indicators, KPIs, regular performance reviews, constructive feedback, transparent expectations. Feedback is not criticism, it is alignment. Without feedback, small problems become large ones. Building future leaders. An empire must outgrow its founder. Develop leadership within your team by empowering decision-making, encouraging innovation, mentoring high performers, promoting from within. When leaders emerge inside your company, scaling becomes sustainable. Compensation and incentives. Compensation should reward results, contribution, innovation, loyalty. Consider performance bonuses, profit sharing, growth-based incentives. When your team wins as the company wins, alignment strengthens. Protecting culture while scaling. Rapid growth can dilute culture. Be intentional about core values, standards of behavior, accountability, communication. Hire people who strengthen culture, not just fill positions. Culture is your invisible competitive advantage. Reflection questions. Am I hiring out of urgency or strategy? Do my team members clearly understand their roles? Are my expectations measurable? Am I developing future leaders? Does my team reflect the standard of excellence I desire? Your team is a mirror of your leadership. The multiplier effect. One strong hire can double your productivity. A team of champions can multiply your impact beyond imagination. When you surround yourself with capable, aligned, driven individuals, innovation increases, execution accelerates, morale strengthens, growth compounds. The right people turn vision into reality. Closing thought. You can build a business alone, but you cannot build an empire alone. Hire carefully, lead intentionally, develop continuously. Because in empire building, your greatest asset is not capital, it is people. Chapter 13. Leadership Secrets of Empire Builders. Management maintains. Leadership multiplies. You can manage tasks, projects, and processes, but only leadership inspires people to exceed expectations, endure hardship, and pursue a shared vision with conviction. Empires are not sustained by control, they are sustained by leadership. This chapter reveals the deeper qualities that separate average business owners from true empire builders. Leadership begins within. Before you lead others, you must lead yourself. Self-leadership includes emotional discipline, consistency, personal accountability, continuous learning, integrity under pressure. Your team will not rise above your example. If you lack focus, they lose direction. If you panic, they lose confidence. If you grow, they grow. Leadership is caught more than it is taught. Vision, the anchor of great leadership. People do not follow job descriptions, they follow vision. A powerful vision defines the future, clarifies purpose, creates meaning, unites effort. Empire builders communicate vision repeatedly and clearly. When challenges arise, vision keeps the team aligned. Without vision, work becomes routine. With vision, work becomes mission. Decisiveness under pressure. Indecision slows growth. Leaders must evaluate information, trust their judgment, take calculated risks, accept responsibility for outcomes. You will not always have perfect data, but hesitation can cost more than imperfection. Empire builders make informed decisions, then commit fully. Emotional intelligence. Leadership is not only strategic, it is relational. Emotional intelligence allows you to understand team dynamics, resolve conflict, motivate individuals differently, respond instead of react. People perform best when they feel understood and respected. A leader who ignores emotional dynamics creates silent resistance. A leader who understands them builds loyalty. Communication mastery. Clarity prevents confusion. Confusion creates inefficiency. Strong leaders communicate expectations clearly, listen actively, provide constructive feedback, reinforce priorities consistently. Never assume understanding, confirm it. Repetition is not redundancy, it is reinforcement. Accountability without fear. Many leaders avoid accountability because they fear tension, but accountability protects standards. High-performance cultures require clear metrics, honest conversations, consequences for underperformance, recognition for excellence. When standards are clear and fairly applied, trust increases. When standards are inconsistent, respect declines. Leading through change. Growth requires change. Change creates discomfort. Empire builders lead change by explaining the why, preparing teams early, supporting adaptation, modeling flexibility. Resistance often comes from uncertainty. Clarity reduces resistance. The power of humility. Strength and humility are not opposites. The strongest leaders admit mistakes, seek advice, welcome feedback, credit their teams. Arrogance isolates. Humility builds loyalty. No leader knows everything, but wise leaders surround themselves with those who know what they do not. Courage in difficult moments. Every empire faces storms, financial downturns, market shifts, internal conflict, strategic failures. In crisis, people look to leadership for stability. Courage does not mean lack of fear, it means acting with conviction despite fear. Your composure becomes the team's confidence. Empowerment over control. Control limits growth. Empowerment expands it. Empire builders delegate authority, encourage initiative, reward innovation, trust capable people. Micromanagement suffocates talent. Empowerment releases potential. When people feel ownership, performance increases. Long-term thinking. True leadership is measured over decades, not months. Empire builders invest in people development, build sustainable systems, protect brand integrity, avoid shortcuts that damage reputation. Short-term wins can create long-term losses. Leadership requires patience and discipline. Influence versus authority. Authority comes from position. Influence comes from trust. You can command obedience, but you must earn commitment. Commitment is stronger. It drives effort even when you are not present. Influence is the real currency of empire builders. Reflection questions. Do I lead by example consistently? Is my vision clear and communicated regularly? Do my team members feel empowered? How do I respond under pressure? Am I building influence or relying on authority? Leadership maturity determines organizational strength. The leadership multiplier. A strong leader can inspire innovation, stabilize crisis, multiply performance, unite diverse personalities, create momentum. Weak leadership creates confusion, conflict, stagnation. The difference between a struggling company and a thriving empire is often leadership quality. Closing thought. Buildings do not create empires, people do. And people rise or fall to the level of their leadership. Lead yourself first. Lead with clarity. Lead with courage. Lead with integrity. Because in the end, your empire will reflect the leader you choose to become. Chapter 14. Creating a culture that drives results. Strategy builds direction. Systems build structure. But culture determines speed. You can have the best strategy in the world and still fail if your internal culture is weak. Conversely, a strong culture can carry an imperfect strategy to success. Culture is the invisible force that shapes behavior when no one is watching. And in empire building, culture is the silent engine of sustained performance. What is culture, really? Culture is not slogans on the wall. It is what is tolerated, what is rewarded, what is repeated, what is expected. It shows up in how meetings are conducted, how conflict is handled, how mistakes are treated, how excellence is recognized. Culture is the personality of your organization. And whether intentional or accidental, you already have one. Culture starts with the founder. The culture of your business reflects you. If you are disciplined, the team becomes disciplined. Disorganized, chaos spreads. Honest, integrity strengthens. Inconsistent, standards weaken. You cannot delegate culture, you embody it. Empire builders are deeply aware that their behavior sets the tone. Define core values clearly. Strong cultures are built on clear values. Values answer the question, what do we stand for? Examples might include excellence, accountability, innovation, integrity, customer obsession, continuous improvement. But values must go beyond words. For each value, define what behaviors demonstrate it, what behaviors violate it. Clarity transforms values into action. High standards create high performance. Results-driven cultures do not tolerate mediocrity. They set measurable goals, enforce accountability, reward performance, address underperformance quickly. When standards are unclear, average performance becomes acceptable. Empire builders make excellence normal. Psychological safety and performance. High performance does not require fear, it requires trust. People perform best when they feel respected, can voice ideas safely, learn from mistakes, receive constructive feedback. Fear suppresses creativity. Trust unlocks innovation. A culture that balances accountability with support produces sustainable results. Reward what you want repeated. Behavior that gets rewarded gets repeated. If you reward sales volume only, teamwork may decline. Speed only, quality may suffer. Loyalty only, performance may stagnate. Be intentional about what you incentivize. Align rewards with long-term vision. Communication culture. How your team communicates shapes productivity. Encourage transparency, clarity, directness, respect. Discourage gossip, passive aggression, blame shifting, avoidance. Open communication prevents small issues from becoming major conflicts. Handling mistakes the right way. Mistakes are inevitable in growth. Your response determines cultural impact. Ask, what went wrong? What can we learn? How do we prevent recurrence? Blame-focused cultures create fear. Learning-focused cultures create progress. Accountability must exist, but growth must follow. Building ownership. Ownership is powerful. When employees feel like owners, they protect resources, improve processes, take initiative, think long-term. You build ownership by delegating responsibility, sharing vision, providing autonomy, involving team members in decisions. Empires are sustained by people who care deeply. Protecting culture during growth. As your company expands, culture can dilute. New hires may not fully understand your standards. Protect culture by hiring for values alignment, training intentionally, reinforcing expectations regularly, and removing toxic influences quickly. One negative attitude can disrupt an entire team. Guard culture fiercely. Measuring cultural health. Culture may be intangible, but its impact is measurable. Look at employee retention, productivity levels, customer satisfaction, internal conflict frequency, engagement, and morale. If performance is declining, culture may be the root cause. The culture of continuous improvement. Empire builders never settle. They create cultures where learning is ongoing, feedback is welcomed, innovation is encouraged, excellence is pursued relentlessly. Stagnation is the enemy of dominance. A culture of growth ensures long-term relevance. Reflection questions. What behaviors are currently rewarded in my organization? Are my core values clearly defined and demonstrated? Do my team members feel both accountable and supported? Am I tolerating behaviors that undermine performance? Would a new hire quickly understand what excellence looks like here? Your answers reveal your cultural strength. The cultural advantage. Competitors can copy products, they can copy pricing, they can even copy marketing strategies, but culture is difficult to replicate. A strong culture becomes a competitive advantage that compounds over time. It attracts top talent, it retains high performers, it drives consistent results. Closing thought. Empires are not built by accident. They are built intentionally from the inside out. Culture is the atmosphere in which your vision breathes. Create a culture of excellence, protect it fiercely, reinforce it daily. Because in the end, culture doesn't just support your empire, it sustains it. Part 5. Money, Investment, and Empire Financing. Chapter 15. Financial Intelligence for Entrepreneurs. Revenue is exciting. Profit is powerful. Cash flow is survival. Many businesses appear successful on the outside, but collapse internally because the founder lacks financial intelligence. Empire builders do not just generate money, they understand it. They control it. They multiply it. This chapter is about mastering the financial foundations that transform a business from fragile to formidable. The difference between revenue and profit. Revenue is total income. Profit is what remains after expenses. Confusing the two is dangerous. A business can generate high revenue and still operate at a loss, struggle with debt, experience cash shortages. Empire builders focus not only on top-line growth, but bottom-line strength. Growth without profitability is expansion toward collapse. Cash flow, the lifeblood of business. Profit on paper does not guarantee cash in the bank. Cash flow measures money coming in, money going out, timing differences between the two. Many businesses fail because customers pay late, expenses are due immediately, inventory ties up capital. Strong financial intelligence requires forecasting and managing cash flow carefully. Without cash, even profitable businesses suffocate. Understanding key financial statements. Empire builders are financially literate. They understand 3 core reports. 1. Income statement. Shows revenue, expenses, and profit over a period. 2. Balance sheet. Shows assets, liabilities, and equity at a specific time. 3. Cash flow statement. Shows how cash moves through the business. You do not need to be an accountant, but you must understand what the numbers are telling you. Numbers reveal the health of your empire. Managing expenses strategically. Not all expenses are equal. Some are investments, some are liabilities. Ask, does this expense generate revenue? Does it improve efficiency? Does it strengthen long-term growth? Cut waste, not growth drivers. Cost control increases profit margins and resilience. Pricing for sustainability. Pricing affects cash flow, profit margins, brand positioning, and competitive strength. Underpricing creates constant pressure. Overpricing without value damages trust. Financial intelligence requires calculating cost structures, understanding margins, and monitoring customer willingness to pay. Sustainable pricing fuels expansion. Debt, a tool or a trap? Debt can accelerate growth, but unmanaged debt destroys stability. Smart use of debt funds expansion, increases production capacity, and enables strategic investment. Poor use of debt covers operational losses, funds lifestyle inflation, creates financial strain. Leverage wisely. Debt should generate return, not stress. Building financial reserves. Unexpected events are inevitable. Economic shifts, market downturns, operational disruptions. Empire builders maintain emergency reserves, operating buffers, and contingency plans. Reserves provide stability during storms. Without reserves, minor setbacks become crises. Separating personal and business finances. One of the most common early mistakes is mixing finances. This creates confusion, tax complications, inaccurate reporting, and poor decision-making. Professional structure requires separation. Clear boundaries create clarity and discipline. Financial forecasting. Forecasting prepares you for the future. Project revenue growth, expense increases, hiring plans, expansion costs, capital needs. Forecasting reduces surprises. Empire builders anticipate before they react. Monitoring key financial metrics. Track indicators such as gross profit margin, net profit margin, customer acquisition cost, lifetime customer value, operating expenses ratio, and break-even point. Metrics turn financial management into strategy rather than guesswork. Investing back into the business. Profits should not simply be withdrawn. Reinvestment fuels growth. Consider reinvesting in marketing, talent acquisition, technology upgrades, product development, and market expansion. Empires grow when profits are strategically reinvested. Financial discipline and delayed gratification. Sudden success can create temptation, lifestyle inflation, unnecessary spending, premature expansion. Financial discipline requires patience. Short-term gratification can destroy long-term dominance. Empire builders think beyond immediate comfort. Financial transparency and integrity. If you plan to scale significantly, transparency matters. Investors, partners, and lenders expect accurate reporting, clean records, and honest projections. Integrity builds trust. Trust unlocks capital. Financial credibility strengthens influence. Reflection questions. Do I truly understand my financial statements? Is my business consistently profitable? How strong is my cash flow position? Am I managing debt strategically? Do I reinvest wisely or spend impulsively? Your financial awareness determines your stability. The wealth multiplier. Money is more than currency. It is energy, opportunity, leverage. Financial intelligence allows you to scale responsibly, invest confidently, navigate uncertainty, and build generational wealth. Without financial literacy, growth becomes risky. With financial mastery, growth becomes strategic. Closing thought. Vision builds direction. Leadership builds teams. Culture builds momentum. But financial intelligence sustains it all. Because in empire building, money is not the goal. It is the fuel. Master it, respect it, multiply it. Chapter 16. Funding your empire. Bootstrapping, investors, and beyond. Every empire requires fuel. Vision without capital moves slowly. Capital without vision collapses quickly. Funding is not just about getting money. It is about choosing the right money at the right time under the right conditions. Empire builders understand that how you finance your growth determines how much control, flexibility, and long-term wealth you retain. This chapter explores the pathways to funding and how to navigate them wisely. The funding question. Before seeking capital, ask, why do I need funding? What exactly will the money accomplish? Will it generate measurable return? What am I willing to give up in exchange? Money amplifies what already exists. If your systems are weak, funding magnifies chaos. If your foundation is strong, funding accelerates expansion. Clarity must precede capital. Bootstrapping, building from within. Bootstrapping means funding growth using personal savings, early-stage profits, reinvested revenue. Advantages: full ownership, complete control, no investor pressure, strong financial discipline. Challenges: slower growth, limited resources, higher personal risk. Bootstrapping builds resilience. Many strong empires begin with constraint because constraint forces efficiency. Friends and family funding. Early-stage entrepreneurs often turn to personal networks. This can provide flexible terms, quick access, emotional support. But it also carries risk. If expectations are unclear, relationships suffer. Always document agreements, define repayment terms, clarify equity if applicable. Professionalism protects relationships. Bank loans and traditional financing. Banks offer structured funding options such as term loans, lines of credit, equipment financing. Advantages: retain ownership, predictable repayment schedules. Challenges: strict qualification requirements, collateral demands, interest obligations. Debt can be powerful, but only when cash flow is stable. Use it strategically, not emotionally. Angel investors. Angel investors are individuals who invest personal capital in early-stage businesses. They often provide funding, mentorship, strategic connections. In exchange, they receive equity. Benefits: experience-based guidance, credibility boost, growth support. Risks: ownership dilution, potential strategic disagreements. Choose investors who align with your vision, not just your valuation. Venture capital. Venture capital firms invest in high-growth companies with scalable potential. They offer significant capital, aggressive expansion support, industry connections. But they expect rapid growth, clear exit strategy, high returns. Venture funding can accelerate expansion dramatically, but it also reduces founder control and increases pressure. It is not suitable for every business model. Strategic investors. Sometimes funding comes from companies within your industry. These investors bring market access, distribution networks, industry expertise. This can create powerful synergy, but strategic investors may influence long-term direction. Protect your autonomy where necessary. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding allows customers and supporters to fund your business through online platforms. Benefits: market validation, brand exposure, community building. It also tests demand before large-scale production. However, it requires strong marketing, clear storytelling, operational readiness. Crowdfunding is capital combined with proof of concept. Revenue-based financing. In this model, investors receive a percentage of revenue until a predetermined return is reached. Advantages: no equity loss, payments tied to revenue performance. This model aligns incentives and protects ownership. It is increasingly popular among growing businesses. Government grants and support programs. Some governments offer grants, low-interest loans, startup incentives, export support. These funds require compliance and documentation, but they can provide non-dilutive capital. Research opportunities available in your region. Free capital is powerful, but preparation is required. Equity versus control. When raising capital, remember, money is temporary, ownership is permanent. Every percentage of equity given away reduces long-term control and profit share. Ask yourself, is the capital worth the dilution? Will this investor accelerate growth significantly? Do we share long-term vision? Smart founders think beyond immediate need. Timing your funding. Raising money too early can dilute ownership unnecessarily, increase pressure prematurely. Raising money too late can stall growth, create operational stress. The ideal moment is when you have proof of concept, revenue traction, systems are stable, growth opportunities are clear. Investors invest in momentum, not ideas alone. Preparing to raise capital. Before seeking funding, ensure you have clear financial statements, growth projections, defined business model, market analysis, strong pitch narrative. Capital follows preparation. Unprepared founders lose credibility quickly. Reflection questions. Why exactly do I need funding? Am I prepared to trade equity for acceleration? Can I grow sustainably without external capital? Do I understand the long-term impact of dilution? Is my foundation strong enough to handle rapid expansion? Funding is not validation. Execution is. The power of financial strategy. There is no single correct way to fund an empire. Some grow slowly and retain full ownership. Others scale rapidly through investment. The key is alignment. Your funding strategy must match your risk tolerance, your growth vision, your industry, your personal goals. Money is a tool. Control how you use it, or it will control you. Closing thought. Capital is powerful, but discipline is more powerful. Seek funding when it strengthens your mission, not when it feeds impatience. Because in empire building, how you finance growth determines whether you remain the architect or become an employee in your own creation. Chapter 17: Cash Flow, Profit Margins, and the Art of Financial Leverage. Revenue is vanity. Profit is sanity. Cash flow is reality. No empire survives without financial discipline. No business scales sustainably without understanding how to leverage resources effectively. This chapter focuses on the 3 pillars of financial mastery that separate fragile businesses from empire-level enterprises: cash flow, profit margins, and financial leverage. Cash flow, the lifeblood of business. Cash flow is the movement of money in and out of your business. Even profitable companies can fail if cash flow is mismanaged. Key principles: monitor closely, track daily, weekly, and monthly inflows and outflows. Forecast regularly, anticipate slow months, upcoming expenses, and potential shortfalls. Manage receivables strategically. Encourage timely payments from customers. Control payables effectively. Extend payments when possible without harming relationships. Maintain reserves. Protect against unexpected crises. A strong cash position allows you to act quickly when opportunities arise. Profit margins, measure of efficiency. Profit margin is not just a number, it reflects how efficiently your business converts revenue into true gain. Types of profit margins: gross margin, revenue minus cost of goods sold, COGS, measures production efficiency. Operating margin, revenue minus operating expenses, reflects operational efficiency. Net margin, total profit after all expenses, taxes, and interest, measures overall financial health. Strong margins provide flexibility for growth, ability to reinvest in marketing, talent, and technology, cushion against downturns. Low margins may indicate pricing, cost, or operational inefficiencies. Understanding the cost structure. To improve margins, you must understand where money goes: fixed costs, rent, salaries; variable costs, materials, shipping; semi-variable costs, utilities, commissions. Focus on reducing unnecessary costs while maintaining quality. Invest in areas that directly generate revenue or growth. Margin improvement is a combination of smart cost control and strategic pricing. Financial leverage, multiplying impact. Financial leverage allows you to use other people's money, resources, or time to grow faster. Forms of leverage: debt leverage, borrowing capital to expand operations or invest. Requires discipline. Debt should produce returns greater than its cost. Human leverage, hiring skilled people to execute better and faster. Technology leverage, systems and automation that scale operations without linear cost. partnership leverage, strategic alliances that open new markets or resources. Leverage multiplies output, but misused leverage can destroy a business. Balancing risk and reward. Financial leverage comes with risk. Empire builders weigh, can the investment generate predictable returns? What is the downside if it fails? How much control am I giving away? High risk is acceptable only when calculated, mitigated, and aligned with your vision. Reinvesting profit strategically. Profit is not just for personal gain. Wise reinvestment accelerates growth. Marketing campaigns that scale reach, technology that increases efficiency, talent that drives execution, new product development or diversification. Compound growth happens when profit is used strategically rather than spent impulsively. Key metrics to track. Cash conversion cycle, how long it takes to turn inventory and receivables into cash. Gross and net profit margins, efficiency and sustainability. Return on investments, ROI, effectiveness of capital allocation. Operating leverage, ability to increase revenue faster than costs. Debt to equity ratio, financial risk and stability. Metrics convert intuition into actionable decisions. Common mistakes empire builders avoid. Ignoring cash flow while chasing revenue. Underpricing to gain customers, reducing margins. Over-leveraging without clear returns. Treating profit as disposable rather than reinvestment capital. Relying solely on intuition instead of tracking metrics. Discipline prevents shortcomings from becoming catastrophic. Reflection questions. Do I have a clear picture of my cash flow situation? Are my profit margins sufficient to support growth and resilience? How am I using leverage to accelerate results? Am I reinvesting profits strategically? Am I tracking the right financial metrics to guide decisions? Your answers determine the strength and scalability of your empire. Closing thought. Revenue can create excitement. Profit can create comfort. Cash flow creates freedom. Combine these with intelligent leverage and you unlock exponential growth. Empire builders do not just chase sales. They control money, maximize efficiency, and multiply impact. Financial mastery is the silent engine that powers lasting empires. Chapter 18. Systems and Processes, the Invisible Engine of Growth. Growth is exciting. Chaos is exhausting. Many small businesses struggle not because of lack of ideas, talent, or capital, but because they lack systems. A system is a repeatable, predictable process that produces results with minimal supervision. Processes turn your business from a collection of tasks into an organized, scalable engine. Empire builders understand this. Systems multiply effort, reduce errors, and sustain growth. Why systems matter. Without systems, dependence on the founder increases. Mistakes become frequent. Scaling is impossible. Knowledge leaves when employees leave. With systems, operations run smoothly. Performance becomes predictable. Training is faster. Expansion is achievable. Systems are the silent force behind every empire. Identify core business functions. Before building systems, identify key areas that require structure. Operations, how products or services are delivered. Sales and marketing, how leads are generated and converted. Customer service, how client issues are handled. Finance and accounting, how money is tracked and managed. Human resources, hiring, training, and managing people. Each function can be standardized, documented, and optimized. The 3 levels of systems. Manual processes, simple step-by-step instructions. Example, standardized email templates for customer inquiries. Automated systems, technology-driven workflows. Example, automated email sequences, billing systems, or CRM pipelines. Strategic systems, integrated systems aligned with long-term goals. Example, lead to customer pipelines, performance dashboards, and reporting cycles. Empire builders progressively move from manual to automated to strategic systems. Document everything. What gets written gets replicated. Procedures should be documented clearly, roles and responsibilities defined, key performance indicators attached to processes. Documentation ensures new hires learn faster, knowledge is retained, operations are consistent. Chaos cannot survive where processes are documented. Automate for scale. Automation allows your business to function without constant human intervention. Opportunities for automation include marketing campaigns, payment processing, appointment scheduling, inventory management, reporting, and analytics. Automation multiplies output and reduces errors. It frees your time for strategic growth. Standard operating procedures, SOPs. Standard operating procedures create repeatable, predictable outcomes. A strong SOP includes purpose of the task, step-by-step instructions, expected outcomes, responsible party, tools or templates needed. SOPs turn employees into high performers quickly. They also reduce dependence on memory or personal skill. Measuring and optimizing systems. A system is only as strong as its results. Track efficiency, time saved or output improved, accuracy, error rates reduced, consistency, quality maintained, productivity, output per resource. Continuous improvement ensures systems evolve with your business. Delegation becomes easy. With systems in place, tasks can be handed off without constant oversight. Employees understand expectations. Managers focus on strategy, not micromanagement. Delegation is no longer risky. It becomes leverage. Scaling through processes. Expansion is impossible without repeatable systems. Franchising, licensing, or multi-location growth requires SOPs. Global operations demand clear procedures in automation. Investors evaluate systemized businesses as lower-risk opportunities. Systems are the infrastructure of scaling. Culture of process discipline. A business with systems succeeds only if people follow them. Promote a culture where SOPs are respected, feedback improves processes, efficiency is celebrated, accountability is expected. Systems multiply effectiveness, but only when executed consistently. Reflection questions. Which core areas of my business lack structured systems? Are my processes documented clearly for replication? Where can automation improve efficiency? Are my employees trained to follow SOPs effectively? Do I regularly review and optimize processes? Your answers determine your operational strength. Closing thought. Ideas start businesses. People execute businesses. Systems scale businesses. Without systems, your empire is fragile. With systems, your empire can grow exponentially, consistently, and sustainably. Systems are the invisible engine that transforms chaos into predictable, repeatable, and scalable growth. Chapter 19: Franchising, Licensing, and Expansion Models. Growth is the ultimate test of a business. You can dominate locally, but empires are built by expanding reach, influence, and revenue streams beyond your immediate environment. Expansion is not random. It requires strategy, systems, and replicability. This chapter explores proven methods for scaling a business through franchising, licensing, and other expansion models, turning your small business into an empire. The principle of replicability. Before expanding, your business must be replicable. Replicability means core operations are systemized, processes are documented, SOPs. Quality is consistent, brand experience is standard. Without replicability, expansion multiplies mistakes, not success. Empire builders perfect their model at home before scaling globally. Franchising, scaling through partners. Franchising allows others to operate using your brand, systems, and business model. Benefits: rapid geographic expansion, capital-light growth. Franchisees fund their operations. Brand proliferation without high operational costs. Requirements: strong, proven business model, comprehensive operations manuals, training programs, legal agreements to protect brand standards. Franchising multiplies your presence while leveraging external resources. Licensing, monetizing intellectual property. Licensing allows others to use your product, service, or brand under agreed terms. Benefits: generates revenue without direct management, expands reach quickly, protects ownership while scaling. Considerations: intellectual property must be clearly defined. Licensing agreements should protect quality and compliance. Enforcement mechanisms must be in place. Licensing is ideal for products, software, content, or proprietary systems. Direct expansion, opening company-owned locations. Some businesses scale by owning and operating multiple locations themselves. Pros: full control over quality and culture, higher revenue per location. Cons: capital intensive, management complexity increases, risk concentrated on the company. Direct expansion is effective when brand experience and culture are critical. Joint ventures and strategic alliances. Form partnerships with other businesses to enter new markets or segments. Share resources, risk, and knowledge. Co-create products or services. Tap into existing customer bases. Strategic alliances reduce the cost and risk of expansion while leveraging complementary strengths. Digital expansion. Modern businesses can expand globally without physical presence. E-commerce stores reaching international customers, digital services delivered remotely, software, apps, and online courses scaling with minimal overhead. Digital expansion requires robust systems, technology, and customer support. Hybrid models. Many empire builders use hybrid approaches: direct operations in key locations, franchising or licensing in distant regions, strategic alliances to enter niche markets, digital platforms for global reach. A diversified expansion strategy reduces risk and maximizes growth potential. Protecting your brand during expansion. Expansion can dilute brand value if not managed carefully. Maintain quality standards across all locations and partners. Enforce brand guidelines consistently. Monitor customer experience and satisfaction. Implement training and support programs. Your reputation is the foundation of sustainable growth. Financial considerations. Scaling through any model requires careful financial planning. Capital requirements for direct expansion, franchise fees and royalty structures, licensing agreements and revenue splits, legal and regulatory compliance costs, marketing support for new markets. Expansion without financial planning can be catastrophic. Reflection questions. Is my business model fully replicable? Which expansion model fits my industry and vision best? Do I have the systems to maintain quality at scale? How can I minimize risk while maximizing reach? Am I prepared legally and financially for multi-location growth? The answers define your path to empire-level scaling. The Empire Multiplier. Expansion is leverage. One successful location or product can be multiplied hundreds of times through franchising, licensing, strategic partnerships, digital platforms. The key is disciplined replication, brand protection, and operational excellence. Closing thought. A small business thrives locally. An empire dominates regions, nations, and even the globe. Expansion is the bridge between local success and lasting legacy. Choose your model wisely. Protect your brand relentlessly. Scale with systems and strategy. Because an empire is not just built to exist, it is built to multiply.
Chapter 20: Global Thinking: Taking Your Business Beyond Borders. Empires are not limited by geography. Small businesses operate locally. Regional businesses dominate their areas. Global businesses influence economies. Thinking globally is not just about exporting products or opening offices in other countries. It is a mindset, seeing opportunity, understanding systems, and acting beyond borders. This chapter explores how to scale your business internationally while maintaining control, quality, and profitability. Why global thinking matters. Local success is limited. Market size may be small. Competition may increase. Economic conditions can fluctuate. Global thinking allows you to access larger markets, diversify risk across regions, leverage international talent and resources, build brand recognition beyond borders. If your vision is limited, your growth is limited. Empire builders anticipate opportunity worldwide. Understanding international markets. Before entering a new country, research is essential. Market demand. Will people need your product or service? Cultural nuances. How do preferences, customs, and behaviors differ? Legal and regulatory environment. Taxes, trade laws, import-export regulations. Currency and payment systems. How will you receive payments efficiently? Competition. Local and international competitors. Preparation prevents costly mistakes. Entry strategies. There are multiple ways to enter foreign markets. 1. Exporting. Sell products or services directly to foreign customers. Low risk, minimal investment. Best for test markets or digital products. 2. Partnerships or joint ventures. Partner with local businesses for distribution or operations. Leverage local knowledge, networks, and infrastructure. Reduces cultural and regulatory challenges. 3. Franchising, licensing. Extend your proven model through local operators. Maintains brand control with limited direct management. Scales quickly if systems are strong. 4. Establishing foreign offices. Full ownership of operations. Greater control but higher capital requirements and operational complexity. Each strategy carries trade-offs between control, cost, and speed. Adapting products and marketing. Global markets often require adjustments. Products modify features, packaging, or sizing to meet local preferences. Pricing adjust for purchasing power and local competition. Marketing tailor messaging to cultural context and language. Customer service provides support in local language and time zones. Global success requires localization without losing your core brand identity. Currency, payment, and financial management. International business introduces financial complexity. Currency fluctuations can impact profitability. Payment methods vary: credit cards, digital wallets, bank transfers. Taxes, tariffs, and regulatory fees must be managed carefully. Plan financial systems to manage global cash flow efficiently. Building an international team. Global expansion requires talent across borders. remote teams for digital operations, local teams for customer support, sales, or distribution, leadership capable of managing cross-cultural teams. Systems, training, and communication tools are essential for global cohesion. Technology as a global enabler. Digital tools simplify international expansion, cloud-based operations for collaboration, e-commerce platforms for cross-border sales, CRM systems for multi-region customer management, analytics to monitor performance worldwide. Technology allows a small team to manage operations anywhere. Legal and compliance considerations. Global expansion carries legal risks, intellectual property protection, trade compliance and import-export laws, employment regulations, tax obligations. Consult local experts to mitigate risks and avoid costly mistakes. Reflection questions. Which international markets align with my product or service? How can I adapt offerings without losing brand essence? Which entry strategy matches my resources and goals? Do I have systems and teams capable of global management? How will I protect finances, compliance, and intellectual property abroad? Answers determine whether your global ambitions succeed or stumble. The empire mindset abroad. Global expansion is not just business, it is strategy, vision, and courage. Strategy, plan entry, scaling, and risk mitigation. Vision, see opportunity beyond borders. Courage, navigate uncertainty, complexity, and competition. Small businesses think local, empires think global. Closing thought. Borders are not limits, they are opportunities. A business with local impact can become an empire with global reach. Global thinking expands vision, multiplies opportunity, and ensures your legacy transcends geography. Because empires are not measured by walls or offices, they are measured by influence, reach, and the lives they touch worldwide.
Part 7. Resilience, Crisis, and Comeback. Chapter 21. When Things Go Wrong, Crisis Management and Resilience. No empire grows without facing storms. Mistakes, setbacks, and crises are inevitable, even for the most prepared entrepreneur. What separates those who survive from those who collapse is resilience and strategic crisis management. This chapter explores how to anticipate, navigate, and recover from the unexpected while keeping your empire intact. The reality of crisis. Every business at some point will face financial shortfalls, product or service failures, staff turnover or conflict, market disruption, reputation challenges. The difference between a temporary setback and a catastrophic failure is often response, not circumstance. Empires are built not by avoiding storms, but by weathering them effectively. Developing a resilient mindset. Resilience begins in the mind. Acceptance. Recognize that setbacks are part of the journey. Perspective. Focus on solutions, not blame. Emotional control. Respond with clarity, not panic. Learning orientation. View failure as feedback. Persistence. Continue forward despite challenges. A resilient founder inspires confidence in their team, turning fear into action. Crisis management steps. When a crisis hits, follow a structured approach. 1. Assess the situation. Gather facts quickly. Determine scope, impact, and urgency. Identify stakeholders affected. 2. Prioritize actions. Address the most critical threats first. Focus on survival, then recovery. Allocate resources strategically. 3. Communicate transparently. Inform your team, customers, and partners. Be honest but calm. Provide clear next steps. 4.
Implement solutions. Take decisive, deliberate action. Leverage systems, teams, and resources. Monitor progress closely. 5. Review and learn. Analyze the cause of the crisis. Adjust processes, policies, and strategy. Document lessons to prevent recurrence. A crisis handled well can strengthen your business and culture. Financial resilience. Cash flow and reserves are critical during crises. Maintain emergency funds. Reduce discretionary expenses immediately. Negotiate with creditors or suppliers. Preserve key resources for survival. Financial resilience buys time, the most valuable asset in any crisis. Leadership under pressure. Your team watches your reaction closely. Panic spreads quickly. Calm confidence stabilizes the organization. Lead by example and maintain focus. Transparency, empathy, and decisiveness are your leadership tools in turbulent times. Building organizational resilience. A resilient company is not just a resilient founder. Develop flexible systems, train employees for problem solving, encourage cross-functional knowledge, establish contingency plans. Resilience compounds when embedded in culture. Strategic risk management. Anticipate potential crises before they happen. Identify vulnerabilities in operations, finances, and supply chains. Prepare alternative strategies and backup plans. Diversify revenue streams to reduce dependency. Ensure key assets and operations. Proactive risk management turns uncertainty into manageable scenarios. Maintaining morale during tough times. A crisis can erode confidence and motivation. Communicate openly. Celebrate small wins. Recognize team effort. Keep a clear vision for the future. High morale during adversity accelerates recovery and preserves culture. Reflection questions. How prepared is my business for unexpected challenges? Do I have financial reserves and contingency plans in place? How do I respond under pressure, panic or calm? Are my employees empowered to act during crises? What lessons have I learned from past setbacks? Your answers reveal your true resilience capacity. The comeback principle. Crises often create opportunity. Inefficiencies become visible and fixable. Innovation is accelerated by necessity. Market gaps emerge. Leadership is tested and strengthened. The ability to bounce back stronger than before is what separates temporary failures from lasting empires. Closing thought. Things will go wrong. Markets shift. Mistakes happen. External forces intervene. Your empire is defined not by the absence of problems, but by your ability to respond, adapt, and emerge stronger. Resilience is the secret weapon of every enduring empire.
Chapter 22. Pivoting with Purpose. Adapting to change without losing direction. Change is constant. Markets evolve. Customer preferences shift. Technology disrupts. Unexpected challenges emerge. The difference between an empire that thrives and one that collapses is the ability to pivot with purpose, to adapt without losing sight of your vision. This chapter explores how to navigate change strategically while maintaining direction, brand integrity, and momentum. Understanding when to pivot. Not all changes require a pivot. The key is recognizing signals versus noise. Indicators you may need a pivot. Declining revenue despite strong effort. Product or service misalignment with market needs. Emerging competitors capturing market share. Shifts in customer behavior or preferences. Technological disruptions in your industry. A well-timed pivot preserves growth potential. A delayed pivot risks obsolescence. Different types of pivots. Product pivot. Modify features, offerings, or pricing to better meet customer needs. Market pivot. Target a different audience or demographic. Operational pivot. Change delivery methods, supply chains, or business models.
Strategic pivot. Shift vision, mission, or long-term goals in response to macro trends. The best pivots align with your core strengths while addressing emerging realities. Principles of purposeful pivoting. A pivot should never be random. Follow these principles. Data-driven decisions. Analyze market trends, customer feedback, and performance metrics. Strategic alignment. Ensure the pivot aligns with your long-term vision and brand. Speed without chaos. Implement changes decisively, but maintain operational stability. Communication is key. Keep your team, partners, and customers informed and aligned. Test before scaling. Pilot new strategies on a small scale before full deployment. Purposeful pivots balance agility with intentionality. Leadership during change. Change can create anxiety and resistance. Effective leaders clearly articulate why the pivot is necessary, demonstrate confidence and composure, empower teams to contribute ideas, provide training and support to adapt to new systems, celebrate milestones to maintain morale. Your leadership sets the tone for how your organization embraces change. Systems that support adaptability. Flexible systems enable smooth pivots, standard operating procedures that can be updated quickly, digital tools for remote management and data tracking, agile financial planning to allocate resources efficiently, scalable marketing and sales systems to test new markets. When systems are robust, pivots are seamless rather than disruptive. Balancing vision and flexibility. A pivot is not abandoning vision. Vision equals long-term destination. Pivot equals adjusting the route to reach it efficiently. Empire builders maintain direction while experimenting with new methods, products, or markets. Learning from failed pivots. Not every pivot succeeds. What matters is learning quickly. Identify what worked and what didn't. Adjust approach without losing momentum. Retain lessons for future strategies. Every misstep can accelerate eventual success if treated as feedback, not failure. Reflection questions. Are there signs that my current strategy is losing effectiveness? Which areas of my business are most adaptable to change? Does my team understand the reasons behind potential pivots? How can I pivot without compromising my brand and vision? What small tests can I run before committing fully to a new direction? Your answers reveal your readiness for change and strategic agility. The pivot advantage. Businesses that pivot successfully survive disruptions, innovate faster than competitors, capture new markets, strengthen resilience and flexibility. Stagnant businesses die. Adaptive businesses thrive. Empires are built on foresight and responsiveness. Closing thought. Change is inevitable. Resistance is optional. Pivoting with purpose transforms uncertainty into opportunity. When executed strategically, a pivot does not mean losing direction. It means finding a better path to your vision. Empires are not rigid. They are resilient, adaptive, and always moving forward. Chapter 23. The Phoenix Principle. Rising stronger after failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey to building an empire. Every empire builder faces setbacks. Deals fall through, products fail, markets shift, and plans collapse. The difference between fleeting businesses and lasting empires is the ability to rise stronger after failure, what we call the Phoenix Principle. This chapter explores how to transform failure into fuel for growth, resilience, and ultimate success. Understanding failure as feedback. Failure is rarely fatal. It is information, not judgment. What went wrong? Why did it happen? How can it be prevented in the future? Empire builders analyze failures without assigning blame. They extract lessons, refine strategies, and improve systems. Remember, every setback carries the seeds of a comeback. Emotional resilience. Bouncing back requires emotional strength. Acceptance. Face the situation without denial. Reflection. Understand emotions and reactions. Detachment. Separate self-worth from business outcomes. Focus. Channel energy towards solutions rather than regrets. Emotional resilience allows clarity in decision-making during recovery. The Phoenix mindset. Rising stronger requires a mindset shift. Reframe failure as temporary and instructive. Focus on controllable factors rather than external circumstances. Maintain long-term vision while adjusting short-term tactics. Commit to action, not paralysis. The Phoenix mindset turns ashes into opportunity and losses into lessons. Strategic recovery steps. Assess impact. Identify financial, operational, and reputational consequences. Prioritize recovery actions. Address urgent issues first to stabilize the business. Leverage strengths. Focus on core competencies and what still works. Rebuild systems. Update processes to prevent repeat mistakes. Communicate transparently. Reassure team, partners, and customers. Measure progress. Track improvements and milestones toward recovery. Structured recovery transforms chaos into order and accelerates the comeback. Learning from others. History is full of Phoenix stories. Steve Jobs was ousted from Apple only to return and build it into a global empire. Walt Disney faced multiple business failures before creating a world-renowned brand. J.K. Rowling endured rejection after rejection before publishing Harry Potter. Failures are temporary setbacks, not permanent verdicts. Embracing risk after failure. Many entrepreneurs become risk-averse after setbacks. Empire builders evaluate risks intelligently, avoid repeating mistakes, pursue opportunities with informed confidence. Courage grows stronger when combined with experience. Building a culture that accepts failure. A resilient organization encourages experimentation, treats mistakes as learning opportunities, rewards problem-solving and adaptability. When employees see failure as a teacher rather than a punishment, innovation flourishes. Reflection questions. How do I personally respond to failure? Fear, denial, or analysis? What lessons can my last setback teach me? Are my systems resilient enough to handle unexpected challenges? How can I create a culture that learns from mistakes? What steps can I take today to rise stronger after failure? Your answers reveal your readiness to convert setbacks into growth. The Phoenix Principle in action. Rising from failure is not about returning to the same point. It is about emerging stronger, wiser, and more prepared. Failures refine strategy, sharpen vision, and strengthen character. Empires are built by those who fail forward, adapt, and use adversity as leverage. Closing thought. Every setback is temporary. Every failure is instructive. The Phoenix Principle teaches that your empire is never truly defeated. It rises each time stronger than before. Embrace failure, learn fast, rebuild better. Because true empire builders are defined not by the absence of failure, but by the power of their comeback. Part 8. Legacy and Empire Sustainability. Chapter 24. Building a business that outlives you. Legacy planning. True empire builders think beyond profit, growth, and fame. They ask, Will this business thrive long after I am gone? Building a legacy means creating a business that continues to deliver value, influence, and impact long after the founder steps away. Legacy planning is not optional. It is the final step in transforming a business into an enduring empire. The importance of legacy planning. Many successful entrepreneurs fail to plan for the future. Without succession, leadership gaps create chaos. Without systems, operations collapse after the founder leaves. Without documented processes, knowledge is lost. Without financial planning, wealth is wasted. A business without legacy planning risks disappearing entirely, no matter how successful it seems today. Empires are not built for the present alone. They are built for the future. Define your legacy vision. Legacy begins with clarity. Ask, what impact do I want my business to have on the world? How will my team, customers, and community remember this enterprise? Do I want to maintain family ownership or transition to professional management? A clear legacy vision informs every strategic, operational, and financial decision. Succession planning. Passing the baton. A business that outlives its founder requires prepared leadership. Identify successors, family members, executives, or external leaders. Develop talent. Provide training, mentorship, and leadership opportunities. Document responsibilities. Define roles, authority, and decision-making processes. Gradual transition. Allow for phased handover to ensure continuity. Succession planning prevents disruption and preserves culture. Systems and processes for longevity. Legacy depends on institutional strength, not individual effort. Well-documented SOPs, scalable operational systems, automated financial and reporting mechanisms, clear performance metrics, and accountability. A systemized business can run efficiently even without the founder's daily involvement. Financial planning for a lasting empire. Legacy requires careful financial foresight. Protect core assets for future owners. Establish trusts, foundations, or endowments if desired. Maintain liquidity for continuity during transitions. Plan for tax implications, inheritance, and wealth transfer. Financial planning ensures the empire remains intact and grows beyond the founder's tenure. Preserving culture and values. Culture is the invisible thread that ties legacy together. Define core values clearly. Hire and promote based on values alignment. Embed cultural rituals, traditions, and stories into daily operations. Reinforce behaviors that support the vision of longevity. An empire without its culture risks losing identity, even if profitable. Giving back as part of legacy. Legacy is about creating something greater than yourself. Stability and continuity beyond your tenure. Impact that extends to employees, customers, and communities. A blueprint for future growth and innovation. Empires built with legacy in mind are resilient, respected, and revered. Closing thought. Success is temporary. Impact is permanent. To build an empire that outlives you, plan leadership succession, document systems and processes, protect finances, preserve culture and values, give back strategically. Legacy is the ultimate measure of an entrepreneur's vision, discipline, and foresight. Your empire can endure if you design it to.
Chapter 25. Giving Back. Social Responsibility and Impact. An empire is measured not only by wealth or power, but by the positive change it creates in the world. Giving back is more than charity. It is a strategic, values-driven approach to social responsibility that benefits your community, employees, customers, and ultimately your business legacy. This chapter explores why impact matters, how to embed responsibility into your empire, and how giving back multiplies influence. Why social responsibility matters.
businesses are no longer evaluated solely on profit. Customers, employees, and partners increasingly judge companies by their impact and ethics. Social responsibility builds trust. Communities and customers respect companies that contribute positively. Employee loyalty. People want to work for businesses with purpose. Brand's reputation. Positive impact attracts attention and credibility. Long-term sustainability. Responsible practices reduce risk and improve resilience. Giving back is both moral and strategic. It strengthens your empire internally and externally. Forms of giving back. Giving back can take multiple forms depending on your resources, industry, and values. Financial contributions, donations, scholarships, or grants to support causes. Volunteerism, organizing employee-led initiatives in the community. Pro bono services, offering products or expertise to underserved populations. Sustainable practices, reducing environmental impact and promoting ethical operations. Mentorship and education, sharing knowledge to empower future entrepreneurs. Impact is amplified when aligned with your vision and core values. Aligning impact with your mission. Effective social responsibility is purposeful, not reactive. Identify causes that resonate with your mission, integrate giving into your business model, measure results and impact, communicate initiatives authentically to stakeholders. When giving aligns with your mission, it reinforces brand identity and motivates employees. Building a culture of impact. Empires are sustained when social responsibility becomes part of culture. Encourage employee involvement in community programs. Recognize contributions and celebrate successes. Incorporate impact metrics into performance evaluation. Foster creativity in solving social and environmental challenges. A culture of giving strengthens internal loyalty and external reputation. Strategic giving for maximum effect. Giving back is most effective when it is strategic. Set clear goals, define what impacts you want to achieve, measure outcomes, track progress to ensure resources create meaningful results, leverage partnerships, collaborate with NGOs, local organizations, or government programs. Scale gradually. Start with manageable initiatives, then expand as capacity grows. Strategic giving ensures long-term, measurable influence. The business benefits of giving back. Social responsibility is not just altruism, it also delivers business advantages, enhances brand loyalty and recognition, attracts top talent who want purposeful work, builds trust with customers and partners, differentiates your brand in competitive markets. Giving back creates a cycle of goodwill and growth, reinforcing both social and financial value. Reflection questions. Which causes resonate most with my personal and business values? How can I integrate giving back into daily operations rather than treating it as an afterthought? How will I measure and track impact? What culture and incentives can I create to encourage employees to contribute? How can giving back strengthen both community impact and business growth? Answers reveal how your empire can create lasting value beyond profit. Impact compounds. Small actions grow into lasting change. Closing thought. Wealth creates opportunity, but purpose creates influence. Giving back is not optional for empire builders. It is essential. When your business improves lives, uplifts communities, and addresses social challenges, it achieves a legacy that endures far beyond balance sheets. Empires built with impact at their core are remembered, respected, and celebrated for generations.
Chapter 26. The Final Secret. Why Empires Are Built from the Inside Out. After vision, strategy, systems, finances, leadership, resilience, and legacy planning, there remains one final truth. Empires are built from the inside out. Your business is an external reflection of the mindset, discipline, culture, and values within. Without internal strength, even the most promising ventures collapse under pressure. This chapter reveals why inner mastery is the ultimate secret of enduring empires. The foundation is mindset. An empire begins in the mind. Belief in possibility fuels bold decisions. Clarity of vision aligns actions with goals. Resilience transforms setbacks into lessons. Discipline ensures consistent execution. No system, strategy, or capital can replace the power of a founder's mindset. Leadership begins within. Your ability to lead others reflects your self-mastery. Emotional intelligence shapes team culture. Integrity and authenticity inspire loyalty. Self-awareness prevents blind spots from threatening the organization. Decision-making under pressure depends on inner clarity. Strong internal leadership radiates outward, influencing every level of your business. Culture as an internal engine. Culture is the invisible force that sustains an empire. Values, behaviors, and rituals are rooted in the founder's principles. Employees mirror leadership's priorities and standards. Culture drives performance, engagement, and innovation. Empires with weak internal culture struggle to scale, regardless of systems or funding. Systems and processes reflect discipline. Internal rigor creates external consistency. Organized operations stem from intentional internal structure. Standard operating procedures replicate the founder's best practices. Accountability is enforced by clearly defined roles and metrics. The discipline of processes ensures the empire functions predictably even when the founder is absent. Resilience starts inside. External crises test internal strength. Founders and leaders must remain calm, focused, and decisive. A resilient mindset allows teams to follow confidently. Emotional and strategic resilience create sustainable recovery. An empire cannot endure if the inner core falters under pressure. Legacy and impact begin within. Clear values guide decision-making and relationships. Social responsibility reflects genuine empathy and integrity. Mentorship, culture, and succession planning are cultivated internally before being projected externally. The legacy of your empire mirrors the strength and intention within. Reflection questions. How strong is my personal mindset in guiding my business? Do my values, discipline, and behaviors align with my long-term vision? Is my leadership fostering the culture and resilience I desire? Are my internal systems, processes, and principles consistent with sustainable growth? How will my inner strength determine my empire's legacy? Your answers reveal whether your empire is built on foundations that will endure. The inside-out principle. External success follows internal mastery. A weak inner foundation leads to reactive, chaotic growth. A strong inner foundation produces deliberate, sustainable expansion. Vision, culture, systems, and resilience are extensions of internal discipline. Empires are not just built, they are grown from the inside out. Closing thought. The final secret of empire building is deceptively simple. Build yourself, and your business will follow. Strengthen your mindset, cultivate resilience, lead with integrity, embed values into culture, master internal systems. When the inside is strong, the outside thrives. When the inner vision is clear, the empire becomes unstoppable. External wealth, influence, and legacy are reflections of your internal mastery. Your empire is not just what you build, it is who you become in the process. This is the ultimate secret. Empires are built from the inside out. Conclusion. Building an empire is a journey, not a single moment of success. From the first spark of an idea to the creation of a lasting legacy, Every step requires vision, discipline, resilience, and purpose. This book has guided you through the essential elements of entrepreneurial mastery. Mindset, cultivating the vision, courage, and determination to think big from the very start. Foundations, building a strong business model, brand, and operational structure that can scale. Growth strategies, leveraging marketing, sales, digital tools, partnerships, and systems to accelerate expansion. Leadership and culture, hiring right, leading effectively, and nurturing a culture that drives results. Finance and investment, managing cash flow, profits, and funding strategically to fuel growth. Scaling and systemization, creating processes, automation, and expansion models that multiply impact. Resilience and adaptability, navigating failure, pivoting strategically, and bouncing back stronger. Legacy and impact, planning for longevity, giving back, and ensuring your business outlives you. Internal mastery is the ultimate secret. Build yourself first, and your empire will follow. Your entrepreneurial journey is now in your hands. Take the principles, systems, and insights shared in this book, apply them with discipline, courage, and consistency. Build not just a business, but an empire, one that thrives, endures, and leaves a legacy for generations to come. Success is temporary. Impact is permanent. Empires are not built overnight. They are built from the inside out, day by day, decision by decision. This is your blueprint, your roadmap, your call to action. It's time to build your empire.